I put 32 of the worst Sonic quotes in a bracket, and with the help of my peers, we'll decide which quote is the most appalling. 4th Chaos Emerald versus Mountain of Handkerchiefs.
No, oh god.
Feel free to give your opinions in the comments below, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and shout out Hivemind, whose videos inspired this one. Our first one's here is That's Why It's Called War versus Big Drip.
None of this is good, Vector. That's why it's called war.
It feels like one of those things where like the writer wanted to like work on something big, but all he got was Sonic. You know what I mean? Like he went to school, he went to college, he really wanted to work on a big time like rated R film, but he just couldn't do it, and all he got was Sonic. And now he's trying to interject like his dreams and visions into a franchise that really should not be saying stuff like this.
Dog, that's just Ken Pender's writing.
It really is. That's exactly what I'm describing.
And in the world, I'm imagining Knuckles just loves war. He's excited that everyone's like suffering. He's just playing soldier. He's like, this is so cool, man.
Not to mention, he's also committed multiple war crimes in that game. So
exactly.
Come on, you.
The DX version.
Where are you going?
I feel like that line delivery is just iconic.
That's iconic. It's such a Sonic thing to say there. You know what I mean? Like,
I think delivery too is just what does it so well.
yeah.
Well, also just think of the function of these two things. Like one is trying to just like be like, this is actually intense, whereas one is just playful. It's adding something playful to something that's already exciting. Like he's talking to the god of destruction, which is revealed to us like minutes later.
Big Drip, 100%. The other one's trash.
That one's the worst line, you think?
No, That's Why It's Called War is so bad compared to Big Drip. Big Drip is so much better.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I feel like That's Why It's Called War. It's just such a out of place thing in like the Sonic universe, especially for like Knuckles' character. It's just really funny.
I love the whole Big Drip part being, you know, it's like a nickname. Then that's what Sonic does. He gives everything a nickname that's demeaning.
Sonic's an asshole.
He really is. He really is.
All right, That's Why It's Called War is moving on. Disgusting Creature versus Enjoy Your Future.
I think you've got a certain
I was
word.
gonna say you're getting a word there, bud.
Disgusting black creatures, get out of my sight.
Jesus.
It's just like functionally, what's the point? I think that's why people fixated on it. Why did you have to choose those words?
Yeah.
You could have said
that's
black
crazy.
arms or anything. You could have like found a way to make that not
That's
sound
crazy.
That way.
Yeah, no, Shadow, nah, we have questions.
It was 2005. There was enough awareness in the room to realize, hey, what we're saying is probably not good.
Hey, Sonic, enjoy your future. It's gonna be great.
You're choosing two completely like polar opposite quotes to put up against each other here.
I feel like Enjoy Your Future is just, it's such an ironic foreshadowing because it's generations, and then for the next decade, it was ass.
You could even tell from the background music how different in tone. Like you have Shadow, it's like da 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 da, and then you have Sonic Generations like da 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 da. That's what makes it funny, is knowing like, yeah, the next decade after that, it was just nothing but like, it was a slog. The quote itself, for what it is at that time period, it was kind of meant to uplift the fans, because at that moment too, it felt like Sonic was getting his groove back.
If only.
One, you could tell, is kind of like a subliminal messaging for the fans from the writers or from the team. And the other one is just, we really, really want this game to be something else. It has to be Disgusting Black Creatures. Like, that has to be the worst one. That's a terrible quote.
I will say it's a less landslide than the last round, but it is still Disgusting Creatures loses. Like, it's the worst.
All right, Disgusting Creature it is. I feel like that's pretty unanimous. Mincemeat versus No Way Out of Marrying.
You fool.
Oh!
I make mincemeat out of you.
Fans, don't hate me. That one line from Dean Bristow right there is better than anything Mike Pollock could have ever said as Eggman. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying
Oh,
it.
absolutely. No,
Dean
absolutely.
Bristow, Eggman is the best, and that line right there is the peak of his work right there. That is so menacing, and that's what I love about the game. You know, you're seeing the cutscenes from the perspective of Tails, and he's so scared, and you're seeing this really dark, broody Eggman that you don't see in the games. That line is peak right there. I can't.
Well, it's because
way.
we're normally experiencing a Sonic narrative from Sonic's perspective. So why is that here? Like it doesn't have a chance of being the worst.
Gotcha, my darling Sonic.
Amy, what are you doing here?
Sonic, this time there's no way out of marrying
that's an example people use of Amy being like obsessed, like a stalker of Sonic.
Domestic
People-
violence? Like,
Okay, but let me.
Like-
Only defense I've ever seen of this scene is that maybe this is a follow-up from their interaction in SA2, where she ends up letting him out, even though Sonic said no way. Maybe she's just still saying like, you still owe me because I got you out of there.
But in that scene, he says like, no way, even in the shell cell. She's like, darn, I thought I had you this time. She already admitted defeat. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Do you guys just give up on like the first time you try something that doesn't go your way? No, you persevere. But yeah, no way out of marrying. Sweeps.
It's gonna be more interesting if that goes against like disgusting black creatures or something.
Yes. I'm excited for the other rounds.
We got 2 Sonic quotes. We'll show that creep and strange, isn't it?
Let's get ready.
Sounds like it's in a tunnel.
We'll show that creep the real superpower of teamwork.
I know people hate on that line, but like, that's literally what's happening. I get it that it's corny, like the idea of it. When you think about the context as a Sonic fan, there has never been that many characters all together doing the same thing.
It is also funny though too, because in that game, the entire time he mentions that they're Sonic heroes and teamwork. He mentions it, but he mentions it so much to the point where it's like almost like they're a company. They're called Sonic Heroes. He'll literally
That's
say,
weird.
"We are Sonic Heroes."
You might know everything I'm going to do, but that's not going to help you since I know everything you're going to do. Strange, isn't it?
Like, okay, so see, because I love the OVA, but I also love Heroes. So this is going to be a bit hard for me. But what is Sonic saying here in the OVA? Like, it's so strange that I can know what you're gonna do. It's so strange, isn't it? Like, what is the point of that clip?
Just a strange, isn't it? Like it's.
I think it's a weird line, and the voice acting is like a little amateurish, which was typical for the time. And he was a kid, and he also, I believe, he normally has an Irish accent. So like, I still love his overall performance. Like, to explain it narratively, like in the best way I can, it's referring to him losing the battle, and he lost because everything was anticipated. And so he's now come back with like this new resolve, like, oh, but I can anticipate you as well. And
Yeah.
I think it could just be localized a little bit better, and it wasn't. And then the actor gets this weird line. Okay, so how are we feeling about this one?
I'm gonna have to give it to Heroes here because, or at least being
Yeah.
the better one. Because, you know, as cheesy and corny as it is to talk about it, like teamwork in that way and superpowers, it matched the tone of the game. It was consistent. The one of the OVA, I'm trying to think of like, what does it offer?
Wait, what happens when we disagree?
Well, there's 3 of us here, so it's just whatever the most
Okay,
popular vote is.
Heroes has the better clip, so OVA would have to move on, like continue on with the worst one.
This is my kind of platform to disagree, I guess, because I'm sitting here. It's really hard, I will say, because I feel like I made a pretty good case for why Heroes makes sense contextually too. So that's why it's difficult for me. I like the idea of Sonic coming back to the fight, finding new resolve, realizing that like, because he's a clone of him, that he has just as much opportunity to get the upper hand as he does. Like, it doesn't matter that he's not this fancy invention. Like, Sonic and the other one is really just going, we are all together. So
Right.
it's like,
The problem with it though, like it should have ended there, saying like, I know everything you're gonna do, because that would have been badass. But the strange, isn't it? Like completely defeats like, just why are you asking Metal Sonic? Is it strange? Like, what? He's not
He ain't
gonna answer
respond
you.
to you, bro. He's he's not
Like,
gonna come
what are you
response.
doing?
I never thought of it like that. Can you imagine he stopped fighting? He's like, you know what?
Yeah, you're right. It is kind of strange. Like,
Yeah, you know what? I just shouldn't exist. You know what? Well, you convinced me. You know, like, unfortunately, the strange, isn't it? It's a more ambitious scene overall, but it fails harder because of it.
Destroy this planet versus copyright law.
With the power of these emeralds, I'm going to destroy this damn planet.
That's just a hypothetical of one way Shadow could have ended up.
He was raised
like,
the wrong way.
it's intentionally non-canon, I feel like. So it's like, it's hard to kind of have that like really bother me.
even if it's not canon, it is the same character, and for that to come out of his mouth is so crazy.
I mean, he's already racist. Like, I'm not surprised.
Well, I think the whole point the game was trying to make is that the only Shadow that does feel like the real Shadow is a Shadow that just like trusts his own gut. Like, it's always go your own way. Like, that's every Sonic game. Even Sonic Riders, it's like, even without wings, I can't fly. Like, I don't need wings. I can be myself. Like, it's always go your own way, go your own way.
Foreshadowing.
I am going to save this planet, and I am going to free these aliens. No copyright law in the universe is going to stop me.
God, dude. You remember when we mentioned early on, like, oh, this writer really just wanted to interject something into the Sonic franchise? Because this one is an example of we have no idea what the source material is, so we're gonna try to make universal jokes that's just funny for any character to say. But this is not like that was that was bad. That's bad.
It's iconically bad.
Even with Shadow being like, I want to destroy this damn planet, as an evil Shadow, if he actually went that route, if he wants to destroy the planet and go along with Gerald Robotnik's original plan from SA2, like at least it's somewhat believable in that universe, even if it is crazy. Nah, copyright law, that's so bad. Contact and graph. Oh
yeah, SA2 Shadow wanted to destroy Earth.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't care. He didn't care. He's like, these humans suck.
Yeah. Now, he wasn't as evil about it. He's like, why should I help them? Like, this is all going according to plan. But like, in this one, he's like doing an evil laugh. So they do turn up the evil factor a little bit. No, copyright law. That's terrible.
I'm
really
agreement.
Like,
copyright law is
it's like your teacher trying to make like a funny joke. It's like, dude, we don't like
trying to connect with the youth, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Head to Wave Ocean or Special Race?
Oh, wait, no!
These are two back-to-back bangers, in my opinion.
E123 Omega has engaged metals. Head to the Wave Ocean, head to Wave Ocean. Agent Shadow, E123 Wave Ocean immediately.
Oh, this game is a blessing. This is a blessing. And look at that guy on the right that came from Best Buy. He just came off his shift.
There's many things in Sonic 06 that like got by, and you know, that game already rough history, I get it. How do you mess that one up? That's rough. How did no one catch that?
That right there is the encapsulation of Sonic 06. It's not inherently, it's just uncooked. It's an uncooked product. And they were in a rush, you could tell.
Not just a race, but
a special race to see who's the fastest.
I feel like it's typical of that era. Like, there was a lot of redundant writing. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really like anger me.
I will also play devil's advocate here. One of them is unintentional and one of them is intentional. So which one is actually at fault at being worse?
Special Race is just like, it's a lot more memorable for just like how weird the line is.
So it should have been said as a joke, but Mike Pollock read it in a way that doesn't sound like a joke. It should have been like, oh, it's not just a race, but a special race to see who's the fastest. Like, it should have been a joke and it would have been funny. But Mike Pollock read it, and it's not to Mike Pollock's fault, it's probably the director's fault. But he read it by just reading it. Like, he's just reading the line. Well, meanwhile, Head to Wave Ocean, how it's supposed to be said is totally fine. That's just a fuck up with somebody didn't cut it properly. It's weird. It's like, which one is actually more bad in that sense?
I bet you programmers would be like, how could they not? Like, you know what I mean? And then like actors would be like, what are you talking about? Like, just look at the script. For me, I kind of am upset that Mike Pollock, someone who's gotten as much work as he has, if he didn't, like, if you're repeating something, you should notice the basic like redundancy. But who knows, right? Because again, Mike would record multiple takes of that line and it wouldn't be up to him which of his takes they took.
Some Calling Johnny did a video on Sonic Riders, mentioned the name Mike Pollock, so Mike Pollock immediately spawned in his comment sections. So he said this here because Johnny asked him, Mike Pollock, please tell me you took a double take when you read that line. Mike Pollock said, nope, the producers didn't question the logic, so why should I? I'll question the grammar because I've been speaking English all my life, but the client always knows their characters best. For that reason alone, I might have to put Special Race as the worst one because
you had the answer to that question like ready to go? What the hell?
Dude, the freaking Mike Pollock, frame one sniping him.
I'll send you the comment here. But
that's my man is citing his sources.
But I'll be the same time.
I love his snarky remarks, guys. I really come for him for his snark, you know.
Dude, oh god, I can't stand that. For that reason alone, put him in Special Race.
The World and Sonic versus Wrong, loser.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I remember this.
If I had to choose between the world and Sonic, I would choose Sonic.
You're so fucked. Like, no, I have to say this. No, every character in Sonic 06, they can go themselves. If you lived in the world of Sonic 06, none of these motherfuckers would care about you. Not Amy and not the princess of the goddamn town. Even she was gonna choose Sonic over the world. She literally says, I don't care what happens to the world.
The fact that she like looks into the camera as she goes, I choose Sonic. Like, girl, are you crazy?
And then Elise is like, I gotta one up her. I'm actually gonna choose Sonic and have everyone else die. Like like it was that bad.
Didn't Elise say the same thing? I don't care what happens to the world.
Sonic was literally like, you crazy bitch, just blow out the candle. Like, what are you doing?
It is mind-boggling to me that we live in a universe where like the Sonic characters are bigger like Sonic dick riders than the Sonic fans.
Amy, what are you doing? Amy, what are you doing?
Wrong, loser. The things that can't be defeated are heart, soul, and the bonds of friendship. 3 things you and your counterfeit cronies lack.
You know what? I agree with Amy. It's time for the world to die. So I feel like with the wrong loser, we go back to like what we said about the heroes quote, right? But with this one, unlike the heroes quote, which matches the tone throughout the game, this one, this whole game was trying to mix oil and water.
Tonal whiplash.
Sonic talking about friendship so assertively here. He's met like a new character and then teamed up with them, and he never goes friendship, like see my friend. Like he doesn't do that. It's not. So it doesn't fit.
Really is just one of those things where like the writer, he Wikipedia searched what does Sonic like, what does he like, his characteristics, and he read heart, soul, and friendship, and he's just
I'm about to cook.
regurgitating
it's
like
a generic protagonist's kind of ideology, and yeah, it's rejecting Sonic's unique ideology.
Yeah. And I'd still argue after all that, the world in Sonic is still much worse.
I disagree.
I actually disagree. I disagree.
You disagree? Really?
Because, so here's the thing, right?
It fits with Amy of that era.
It fits with Amy in that era. Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
But it's such a bad line.
No, it's a bad. So I was saying how bad that is that Princess Elise, a person who is actually a person of authority who has to take care of a community, saying it. Amy saying it. A couple quotes ago, she was about to kill Sonic because he didn't want to marry her. This is who we're talking about. This is the same girl. This
girl was struggling with BPD. Pour one out for her, for real. All right. Well,
wrong loser loses.
Yeah, get wrong loser, get wrecked. Wallace, we hijacked the video. We were like, he's like, no, I think that was best. We're like, wrong loser.
He's to kill yourself. Pathetic opinion.
You're welcome, Amy fans. We got you.
On our way to the Ark and a date with Eggman.
Looks like those black creatures are headed out to space. We're on our way to the Ark, so I guess that means we're going too.
Yeah. Wow.
Yup.
Dude.
Shadow's like, wow, I hate you.
You know what's funny? I actually have an out for Sonic here because it is annoyingly stupid what he said. But at the same time, Sonic in Shadow the Hedgehog is so funny because you're looking at Sonic from the perspective of Shadow.
Yes.
And Sonic is annoying in that entire game. Shadow is brooding in that game over the death of his friend on the verge of tears, and Sonic just walks in. Oh, yeah! Time to party! Yeah. Like, come on!
Shadow, what are you doing?
I love this idea that like Sonic Team was writing from the character's perspective, depending on who the main character was. Like, that's a really fun idea.
What'd you say?
Sensors locked on Eggman. Non-compliant intruders will be...
Wait, this line is awesome. What are you talking about?
This is cool. We have a date with Eggman, too. Is that so? Well, then, it'll be a date to die for. Hey! That's my line!
What? This is... Why? What is this doing here?
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I think it's just the delivery of to die for.
It's weird because Shadow genuinely doesn't remember Sonic at that moment, but the cutscene does portray Shadow as like messing with Sonic. Like in the way he says it, in the way he's looking. He just looks like he's just with him.
He's goofing
but he
with
doesn't.
him.
He genuinely doesn't know who he is.
I don't know. I feel like this is a landslide.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. On our way to the Ark, that's 100% the worst one.
Stealing candy from a baby versus because we're Sonic heroes. Another contender for like 2 absolute classics.
Again with the evil Shadow.
It's such a great character.
You've got to be kidding me, guys. This is like taking candy from a baby, which is fine by me.
Why?
It's so over the top evil.
Somebody said that the dark route should have like silly evil stuff in it for gamers. I think somebody said that.
Does this cutscene play when you take the evil route, or is it on the normal route?
Why does he want to steal candy from babies?
I like the idea of him doing silly evil stuff if you go pure evil, right? I like that idea, but then how come we didn't get like silly heroic stuff? Like, yeah, Sonic, we're best buds. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
how funny that would be?
it's very odd, but it also feels like, again, it's like when you think of like what's the worst thing you could do? Steal candy from a baby. Okay, put it in the game.
It feels like the copyright law line. It's like out
It
of
does.
place. Like it's like generic. It's just like, why would Shadow hanging out with a human baby? Like what baby? What? Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What are you? Who are you talking about? Shadow? When was there a baby? Who's what?
I think what makes it for me is the fact that it's like he has to double down. He's like, oh, it's like stealing candy from a baby. ... Which is fine by me. Like
They also had to nail that in, like, oh, but also just to make sure you understand, I'm a-okay with that. It's so stupid. Just like that was like I know where they're going with this.
It's no use. But why can't I defeat you?
Because we're Sonic heroes.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean
That one.
that one's bad. That one's bad. Like I mean,
He's rough.
he's talking about himself like a company, like Sonic Heroes is the brand.
My man
It's so
dropped the
dumb.
game title. He was not playing around.
Yeah.
He had...
Like, dude, the credits should have just started rolling at that exact moment. But you know what's funny though, man? At least it's consistent with the tone throughout the entire game.
That's true.
They even end the damn game with them jumping in the air like, yeah, we're Sonic heroes, and it's a freeze frame. Like,
Yeah.
like it could have ended with them high-fiving, would have been equally as cheesy. But the stealing candy from a baby is so out of left field. It's so like that one to me. Oh no, that stealing candy from a baby is worse. That one's bad.
I could go behind
agree.
stealing candy from a baby. And if it was against another one, I feel like Sonic Heroes would have moved on, but you know, it's like Hydrogen Bomb versus Coughing Baby. It's not gonna win. All right, so you're referencing this earlier, but even without wings versus You're Gonna Crash.
Even without wings.
Why does he fall?
Yeah, he falls in like midair. He's falling
Jet's like,
towards
I've been
the
practicing
sky.
for years. Oh,
I don't know. I don't quite understand.
What was he waffling on about?
I know a little bit after that line, he's like, right? And he turns around like he's messing with Jet. Like he's being sarcastic. Like, look, I don't have wings, but I'm still flying.
it's a continued conversation, dude.
Is
I
it-
just
is
watched
it
the
a-
cutscene this morning.
Is it?
What?
Is it
You were
a?
watching it this morning? What?
Is it a joke about Jet joking that Sonic is the fastest thing alive?
He observes him like boarding in an earlier cutscene and says that he's pretty fast on his feet, but without wings, he won't be able to like use the extreme gear properly, basically.
I just like the idea that he like ends the race. Jet's like, I don't know, but to break a shit ton of bones. And so I was like, haha, without wings, I can still fly. That's such like a petty asshole thing to do. It's so funny.
I'll give you the actor schmactor because I would put like you would say like even without wings, I can still fly. That putting
Yeah.
stress on without wings, like referring, that's clearly making it evident that you're referring to like a larger conversation when you put so
Yeah.
much emphasis on something, similar to the other Mike Pollock
Yeah.
line, right?
What's even funnier though, he actually doesn't even say it straight. He says it energetically. Even without
can still
wings,
fly.
I can still fly. It's like, who said that? What are you doing?
It's like perfect. Yeah, he said it perfully to be taken out of
Yeah.
context.
Personally, I just think he should have flipped off Jet.
Actually, it would have been funnier if he tripped Jet, then said it.
Yeah. Sabotages him. He sticks the bomb in the bottom of his board.
Watch out! You're gonna crash! Ah!
So we know these stories that these voice actors mentioned during the production of Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, it was a Japanese director, and they would tell him to audibly say what they're reading. That's why in SA2, Eggman goes, Yosh! Like he's literally doing lines that were like he's doing Japanese sounds as an American, like spelled phonetically, and they're literally saying it as it is.
That's why
I
he
think
says that.
That's a failure in translation, I think. That right there is like they don't understand that as an American, we don't go, watch out, you're gonna crash, and then space, it would be connected. But they're spacing it out the way it is on paper, and they wanted them to just say it how it is on the paper.
Do you think it was spaced out because of the way that their facial expressions worked in that game?
I don't know. I don't think that would be the case, because I don't even believe the facial animations would have been done by that point when they recorded.
I'm trying to think of how to compare these two games, right? Because they're both based on actor execution, and I feel like they're both just as bad in that category. And then I started thinking about technically, right? So they're on different technical levels because it's Dreamcast versus a completely different era. So I was like, maybe you're gonna crash gets saved because it has the excuse.
Yeah, I think even without wings, I feel like that one it's funnier. I think the funnier part comes out of like the facial expression afterwards. But even without wings, just the whole thing out of context, it's just so funny, bro. It's just
You know what? I think it's what he's saying is really funny out of context. It is like, without wings, I can still fly, and then someone jumps off a building. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
Seeing it that on paper, it looks fine. Nothing looks out of the ordinary.
yeah.
But when you look at even without wings, I can still fly. Even if
It's
you
like,
read that,
what?
it's like, what does that? What?
Again,
What's the context?
this is another example of like the Sonic team is trying to do something poetic, right? But localization could just make it seem silly. Because they're not putting the emphasis on correctly. It's such a shame. It's such a shame.
But what's not a shame is the fact that it's moving on.
That's true.
Let's go.
Straight to Hell versus It's Been Generations.
Oh, God.
Yes, Doctor. You will regret ever having created me. You're going straight to hell.
Yeah,
Such
I
a
don't,
banger.
It's fun. It's a little funny, but it's just funny enough and just badass enough that that's Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, that's Shadow the Hedgehog. That's
Shadow.
That's right on
Shadow,
the border
yeah.
of being PG-13, but we're not quite there yet. So we're 11 plus. So it's just like, or 10 plus. So it's just riding that line where we could say hell, but you got it. Oh God, it's just cheesy enough, but that's exactly
Dude
what the
rides
game
a
is supposed to be.
motorcycle when he doesn't have
I know.
to. That's the same
Harley
energy. That's the
Davidson,
same
yeah.
energy.
I feel like if it was to be like in-game lore accurate though, he'd be like, I'd send you straight to the Dark Garden. Like,
Oh
Bruh, what?
God.
Ooh.
You're going straight to Dark Gaia. I don't know.
yeah. maybe I should be a writer for the Sonic universe, you know?
Tails! I was so worried. I thought you were...
You worry too much. Look, I'm perfectly fine.
God, no.
Been generations since I seen you. You okay?
Oh. There's just a little fucking thumbs up. Like, stop it. He's like, yeah, I approved this joke.
This is why people call this the meta era, because of the copyright law, because like stuff like that. It's because they're trying to be like, I am mascot, everyone. I am brand.
Yeah.
And it just feels weird. Like it's.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he did that in Heroes, but it's different. Shut up.
I think this Straight to Hell brings so much like joy to me, but like It's Been Generations like makes me physically recoil.
You know what, guys, take it from a longtime Sonic fan who's deprived and didn't have a Sonic game in a long time. So let's get my first reaction to this line.
I was so...
I didn't skip anything, did I? Dude, I thought he was about to kiss him. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm perfectly fine. It's been generations since I seen you. You okay?
I saw the light leave your eyes there.
I don't know if that quite hit the way they thought it was going to. So it's for that reason I'm out.
Yeah, no, that one is the worst.
That's
Yeah, It's Been Generations.
Yeah.
It's been since last Sonic game since I've seen you, classic Sonic from Sonic Generations.
Don't touch that lever versus It's No Use. Oh, hell no. It's only 4 seconds.
Yo, chat, somebody get this guy from
A&W Brew
This
Bar.
is crazy.
Yo, chat, you're so parasocial. It's actually embarrassing.
Whatever.
Only thing in the cargo bay are those
What do you
master
mean, don't
emeralds.
sweat it?
Right?
Land the
Knock
shuttle
it
and
off,
let me
Knuckles.
out.
We're gonna crash this thing if you keep that up. Oh no! Don't touch that lever!
Dude, the delayed yells from everyone. It actually, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm with Knuckles on that one right there. I would be ready to kill everyone on that ship. Are you kidding? He's like, don't worry, Knuckles. The only thing in the cargo bay is your precious Master Emerald.
I love
you
Sonic for that.
mean?
That's so funny.
What do you mean, dude?
He
But,
knows
like-
they're important to him. I just love Sonic for that. That's so funny. It's evident that that's important. Like, so obvious. Like,
Yeah.
that's like Sonic saying to Tails, like, oh, don't worry about the tornado. It blew up, but, you know, screw you. Like, whatever.
It's like the government being like, oh, don't worry, we've only lost like half of your retirement funds. It's like, what do you mean?
Well, yeah.
And then Sonic, in the very next scene, complains about Knuckles.
So,
What's
so
up with
such
that
a-
knucklehead anyway? Right.
So I'm such a prick.
And then he also makes another joke again in the future when Eggman walks in, is like, oh, you're still alive. He goes, having Knuckles pilot the ship is more dangerous than you could ever be or something like that.
Rent
And it's like,
free. He's still mad about
He's
it.
still
so
mad about it.
about it, dude.
I just
Oh my
like how Sonic
gosh.
and Knuckles hate each other. I like that.
Yeah.
energy.
It's no use!
Okay. Wait, why is
It's no use. It's very iconic. I mean, okay, we're going by
It's
like which is
iconic-
worse.
It's iconic because it is repeated in game in the same way Eggman's lines like the more the merrier. You know what I mean? It's iconic because it is said so many times in tandem that you will remember it.
It's
I
iconic
feel
because it really is no use. Like for that
Yeah,
fight.
it
really is.
They don't touch that lever. It's like that whole cutscene obviously is awkward, right? Like it could have probably been said better. I don't think there's a problem with the delivery. I think it's just that again, that's a technical thing in the game. The fact that they have him say it every time he does his move. I don't know. This one's gonna be hard for me. I'm not sure.
Well, the audio cutting each other off and being implemented weird is a problem with SA2 in general.
Part of the joy of Don't Touch That Lever is it's just such a shit show because it's Sonic Adventure 2 audio at its like absolute worst, where it's just everyone's talking over each other. And I think for me that would probably move on.
But they would talk over each other. What would you do in a spinning spacecraft?
We're gonna crash.
I just don't like the worst part of that cutscene. Honestly, is the delayed yelling. The
Yeah.
delayed yelling is what makes it that bad. But it's no use. Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna have to say, Don't Touch That Lever is probably worse than It's No Use, only because like, yeah, like it's the line itself for It's No Use. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just annoying because he says it so many times.
Yeah, there's more going wrong. I'll concede on the Don't Touch That Lever.
And now we get to talk about it again.
All's Well That Ends Well versus Maybe He'd Have More Friends.
What? Wait, the
Wait,
second one.
what?
I'm trying to remember the second one. The silence,
All's well that ends well, right?
brother.
The city's
There's a car.
destroyed around you, Tails. There's dead bodies floating in the water, and you're like, all's well that ends well.
There's a flipped car directly to his right. Like,
He has no awareness of like his surroundings.
that one is funny. Like that one genuinely is funny. And
Is it supposed to be funny? I feel like it
don't
has
know.
to be.
I don't know.
I probably wouldn't give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. I would probably say again, it's just probably
Well, Tails is like a
translation
kid,
error.
bro.
It is, yeah, but it's probably just a translation error. They just wanted to end it off on a good note for the story, but they chose something that's like
Another
all's
cliche.
well. It's like, why would you say all's well when the whole city is destroyed? Like this is not all
damn,
well.
what's the
Billions in
translation?
damages.
All's well that ends well. It might not. The shoe might not fit. Like literally, someone localizing it just went, yeah, like what you said, right? I want a nice ending. That's what people say. People will like that.
Maybe he'd have more friends if he didn't talk about himself on the third person.
Literally didn't think about that line since the game came out. Like that is so forgettable. I actually didn't even think about that line at all ever. Is a commentary on Eggman's character from the writers. In the same way, they constantly do this commentary on the characters. They always do that. I feel like, and it's like, I'm trying to think of what is more egregious, not having the right line for the environment, or the writer again just being like, I'm being snarky.
Can I be completely honest?
Yeah.
I've already forgotten the entire quote of the maybe you'd have more friends.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it's not something I even thought about or remember from the game itself too.
But I remember how like awful that all's well that ends well is.
One's unintentionally funny, so there's value to it for me, right? And then the other is trying to be funny and isn't. So it has less value. So I don't know which one to choose in this context.
What is the worst?
I'm leaning towards Forces because one, bias, and two, forgettable. Like, why include it at all? Like, why should it exist?
I would say also that ends well. So it's up to Sam to kind of be the tiebreaker here.
I don't like the Forces line, but I'm gonna treat it the same way I treated Heroes, right? Because as bad as those lines were in Heroes, it matched the tone, right? What Tails is saying makes no sense narratively for him to say that, especially when he's standing in a broken city. Tails' line is worse. I'll just say that. So
okay, all right.
We'll move on. I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. I'll be the devil's advocate on this.
No, I'm glad you did. I was just like really like, so your stance is
Top secret disc versus wow, my head spinning.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Charmy versus Tails.
Maybe, hold on.
He wants me to find 5 top secret discs. But, like, what's a top secret disc?
Zoomer ass Charmy.
I love Charmy. No, I love Charmy because it's so like, but like he's genuine. He's like, what's a disc? Like, it's funny. It's
Like,
the same
what?
joke in SpongeBob. Like, what's a dog? It's just like, of course, like, why would Charmy know what a disc is? Like in the Sonic universe, I really
well, it
like.
shows
Charmy
how
in
much
that
of a
area.
joke they all are because Vector's like, yeah, Charmy, you go look for the top secret discs, and like
Yeah.
Charmy just didn't even think to ask, and he's like, okay, and then he goes all the way there and all the way over there by himself, and then goes, wait a minute, what am I looking for? What does it look like?
Yeah, I don't know. It's I love the chaotics in that era, especially because it's the same era as like Sonic X, and they're so goofy in that one. That doesn't seem wrong to me. It doesn't seem like it was read wrong or anything or said wrong. It's literally just Charmy just being like, "What's a top secret disc?" Like, it's
I
just
remember
funny.
being in the community at the time. It was like a meme and like Sonic.
It
shorts,
was a
like,
meme. That a
like-
lot of it was. Same with
It
Find the
aged like
Computer
wine.
Room.
Charmy
Yeah.
aged like wine, like in terms of like
It's
people's
funny because
reception.
I remember early on people used to hate Charmy and think he was annoying.
Yeah.
But I'm looking back at these lines, and I'm just like, makes me laugh. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's funny. I like Charmy. I do.
Wow, my head's spinning!
Okay. All right. Listen, as a fan who loves Sonic Heroes, right? These characters would not shut the hell up in this game. And one of the things that unfortunately adds to this annoyance is Tails in this game. He just says the darnest of things for no reason. Wow, my head's spinning. Like that to me is just more like egregious. Like, because it was added in the game in parts where even that line's a good example. They weren't spinning. They took a
Tails
jump.
is still
they weren't spinning.
recovering.
Yeah.
It's like, Tails, have you not followed Sonic for like your whole life
Yeah.
at this point? Like, what
Yeah,
the
he also
what?
flies the tornado and does barrel rolls in the first cutscene of the game to catch up to Sonic in the tornado.
Is this line for Knuckles? Like, it would almost make sense. Like, when Knuckles says, like, whoa, what a wild ride, that makes sense because Knuckles doesn't go, like, spin around, spin dash, woo, like, he doesn't do
Yeah.
that. That's not
Wow,
what he
my
normally does.
plane's spinning.
Yeah, no, I think that one's more egregious. I like Charmy's line. Charmy's line is not wrong.
Charmy's
It's
is really
not-
funny.
Yeah, it's just like he doesn't know what a disc is. So,
Fourth Chaos Emerald versus a mountain of handkerchiefs.
no, oh god, already made up my mind on this
Here
one.
we go.
This-
Oh,
I got
God.
For
things to
me,
say
this
about
could be like a semifinal like contender.
Where's that damn 4th Chaos Emerald?
Dude, it's literally
It's so forced.
they wanted to add damn to it because all he could say is damn, right? He doesn't say any other major curse word other than hell. That's not really a major curse word though. Damn is about the extent to as it goes.
Shadow goes,
But it's
where's that mother fourth Chaos
Yeah,
Emerald?
it should have been, but like, yeah, the damn, it's so forced, but it's so funny for that. It's literally just trying to be dark and broody. Oh my god.
I wish for a mountain of handkerchiefs.
Dude.
Now, just let yourself cry as much as you need to. You'll have plenty of handkerchiefs.
This is
to help
just
you
like
through
the
it.
Wings with Fly moment.
You
like
know,
Wings
you know
and
what's
Flying.
funny?
This some like some
It
just girly things type post.
This would have been so much funnier and actually a cool line if he said it to a villain, to the guy that he just trapped in the lamp.
Jin.
If he was like, hey, look, you're going to be trapped in there for eternity, but if you have to cry, wish yourself a mountain of handkerchiefs. Go cry about it. Like, that would have been so
That would
funny.
have gone hard. That would have been raw.
Right.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
But instead, he's trying to pull like a sense of like trying to be sentimental, but you're not doing it. It's just
Here's
like,
a mountain of handkerchiefs.
wait, who f***ing says handkerchiefs? Get the out of here, dude. Nah, no, it has to
Here's
be
a
that.
mountain
Like,
of tissues. See, like that even that make more sense. Here's a mountain of handkerchiefs. Maybe she doesn't know what tissues are. This is like the Arabian Nights times.
a mountain though? Like, is that biodegradable, mother? Like that
He's
shit's
calling
gonna
you,
sit
like-
there.
Dude,
gonna
Sonic's
blow
calling you
in
like
the
a little
wind.
bitch. Like,
Damn, dude. Talk about trying to save the environment. And this dude just wished for a mountain,
Dude,
mountain of handkerchiefs.
Bro, factories weren't even like an issue at this point. Like greenhouse gases weren't an issue at this point in time. Like
He didn't even say, he's not even helping her. He literally says, "You're gonna cry a lot. Like, go cry."
Go cry about it. Here's an amount of handkerchiefs. Bye. I got a date to go on.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's a bad line. I don't know if Evan, you disagree with that at all.
I'm leaning on your guys' side, right? But I'm thinking like, I think the message they're trying to portray here, similar to the wings and fly moment, I think the wings, like being able to fly without wings imagery worked a little bit better. But again, it has that same flaw of out of context. It's so funny. Like, you can't teach kids to, like, I can fly without wings. Whoa. Like, you chill.
Little Timmy just broke his head open on, like, the swing, like...
The symbolism is taking precedent over the logistics of it. I would just say that this is one of those situations where clearly Mountain of Handkerchiefs is too poetic. It's trying too hard.
Yeah. It's trying
to be poetic. It's not working.
It's trying to cook, but it's not doing it at all.
It just has nothing to like really stand on. It's like very surface level.
The Shadow the Hedgehog thing, that's in the middle of the game. It's like whatever. But this is the last thing that's said, and it cuts to white, and the credits roll. That's the last thing mentioned in this game is this mother wishing this girl a mountain of handkerchiefs so she could cry for as long as she needs to. It doesn't hit.
The intentional message is to be like, Sonic's not going to wish for you to just feel better. He's going to wish for you for the opportunity to feel better on your own terms. But there's better ways of communicating that. Yeah.
Eurasian Jin was her boyfriend, right?
Like an abusive relationship.
It was implications of an abusive relationship. And it's the message that they're trying to paint here is that the pain just doesn't magically go away. Like, having a Sonic game incorporate like lessons about how to deal with an abusive relationship, that's complicated enough. I feel like they put too much. This is a moment of too much.
But at the same time, Black Knight did an amazing job near the end, because we're talking about like a complicated subject where the girl was afraid of death, right? She did want everything to live forever, and he said in the end, and he portrays it well. Look, everyone dies, but it depends on like what you do in that time. And it's like so yeah, it's just, I think you nail it on the head though. Like this one, it could have, like, the message is good, but it wasn't delivered in a proper way.
As someone who is a part of the community, I can say this is what a VTuber would say. So I'm gonna move on. Mountain of handkerchiefs. Like, don't worry, my little Discord kitten. Like, I got a mountain of handkerchiefs I'd wish for you if I could. Like, out of here. Sandhill versus Don't Go There. ... Yet.
Oh boy.
There's sand everywhere. Green Hill's looking a lot more like Sand Hill right now.
I recoil.
I gave Forces a pass on the last one, but I don't know if I could do it on this one. We could go to the next one here, but like, I have a lot to say between both of these.
I'm speechless with Sandhill. All I can think of is like, that's a non-line. It's like, why is it here?
Non-line.
I am Shadow the Hedgehog, a research experiment gone deadly wrong. I've caused so much destruction. I should never have been created. This is who I am.
Hey, don't go there! Yet, things may not be what they seem. Could be.
Brother, listen. It's Vector the Crocodile, and I can never imagine this guy actually trying to be sentimental toward anyone. Even someone who's clearly, like, talking so, like, this is almost, it's as easy as to say, Vector's still in character there. I I can't imagine him actually properly saying the right things. And it's the same thing with all the Chaotix, because at the end of the day, the Chaotix, they're a fuck-up. They're a giant group who's a giant fuck-up, and that's the joke. They're just trying to pay rent. Charmy doesn't know how to do anything.
I cannot think of a worse person to like be on a side hotline with than Vector.
Yeah.
My defense for the line would be that it wouldn't feel like Vector without the ... yet.
Yeah.
Like, that's the exact part that makes it sound like Vector.
Yeah. It's so funny.
It's so funny because it's like, dude, Shadow just needs a hug. And he's like, don't kill yourself yet. Hold on. There's a few other things we could try before we get there.
Like, that was just genuinely so funny. Sandhill just is like agony.
Sandhill, it's another thing where it's like, it's a thing where it's, as a fan, it's like one makes me laugh, the other one pisses me off. So it's like, if you piss me off, that's gonna make me feel worse.
Alright.
Yeah, that sandhill got to move over, dude.
Sand
Are we
hill.
finally in like the what is it?
Yeah,
The
so now we're in the round 2. So we got
You don't know the official term either.
we aren't gonna listen to these again. We're just gonna go through and just discuss. So we
Nice.
have That's Why It's Called War versus Disgusting Creature.
Oh, this is already hard.
Right off the bat, like coming out swinging, I feel like That's Why It's Called War is funny because it's just out of place. Disgusting Black Creature is just like, that one like sends shivers down my spine of like, this is bad.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Yeah, it's one line is trying to be dark and broody, but the other one, the Disgusting Black Creatures, is just like, brother, that just doesn't sound good at all, no matter which way you cut it.
Doesn't matter like the context of it, it just sucks regardless.
Yeah.
I think it just has to win on that merit alone. Like,
yeah, I think so too.
Because if its power out of context is unmatched, I feel like it's gonna make it far. We'll see.
Right.
No Way Out of Marrying Me versus Strange, Isn't It?
You know what? I'm gonna have to say No Way Out of Marrying Me, because that one genuinely doesn't make sense. Even after all these years, I'm still trying to get a grasp on it. She wants to hurt Sonic? Like after
It's
after
a
saying
forced
this,
premise. Yeah.
She's
It
forcing him
feels-
to, has weird implications.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But the Strange Isn't It? You're like, yeah, he's asking a question toward Metal Sonic. It's weird to ask that. But he's just asking, like, oh, this is strange, isn't it? Like,
It's just weird. Yeah, it's just weird localization versus like, why is the character doing that?
Why is she threatening him to like marry her, like a forced arranged marriage? She's crazy for that.
That's crazy. Yeah, you got to move that over.
Copyright law versus special race. Oh my gosh.
The special race is the execution, right, of Micah Pollock. Like why did I say Micah?
Michael Pollock, calling him by his full like illegal like government name.
Copyright law, 100%.
Copyright law, because it's out of place.
It's out of place, and it doesn't add anything to, like, there's no other way you could say the line to save it. The special race, I can think of multiple ways it could have been said, and it could have saved it and made it funny, and it still makes people laugh and save with how weird it is. Copyright law is just, I remember people using that line during SOPA, like, great, fantastic, who gives a yeah, move that over.
I don't see it making that many rounds more, considering the other contenders, but, you know, yeah, it definitely, it moves on.
Wrong Loser versus On Our Way to the Ark.
Oh God, it's we're talking about, again, bad writing versus wrong writing. It's
Sonic
like
being an idiot versus Sonic being an idiot.
Like again, the line is being read wrong in Shadow the Hedgehog. The Forces one is read correctly and done correctly, but it feels like lazy. So this is a battle of bad versus broken.
I think it's more just like mediocre versus like just funny bad. I feel like I would move on Our Way to the Ark.
Really? I'm taking Wrong Loser because its intention I hate more because it's just generic.
I feel like when I look at the Forces line and why I hate it so much is because I'm looking at it in the context of the entire game. The On Our Way to the Ark is literally a sentence that doesn't make sense. It genuinely is a broken line.
Right, but it's inconsequential. This Wrong Loser is like supposed to be Sonic's like, you know, like over the main antagonist. He's trying to be like, these are like my, this is the sauce that makes me who I am and why we won. And it's just kind of like blah.
Yeah, Sonic Heroes has equally as cheesy lines as that one, but it matches the tone. So it doesn't really stick out as much, and we kind of like laugh at it. Because the same thing with like superpower of teamwork. Like I'm looking at the context of knowing about forces, it makes that line feel worse. But it's that versus a line that is genuinely broken. I'm probably gonna have to agree with Wallace on this one.
It feels less bias. I'm happy with, you know, Frontiers not getting an L. I've given them Forces an L.
Yeah.
I've given Forces plenty of L's, so I'll let this pass.
Stealing Candy from a Baby versus Even Without Wings, I Can Still Fly.
No, and it's stealing candy from the baby.
Yeah,
stealing candy from a baby.
Oh my God. Like that's crazy.
That one is a wild line.
Even if Eggman said it, like,
it used to be like, huh? Like, huh? It's been Generations versus Don't Touch That Lever.
I'm going against Generations.
Forces, you had a pass on that last one, so.
It's time to pay up for your sins, though. It's time. You need to repent.
That one's bad because we laughed about the prospect of the other one and that it continues throughout the story multiple times. He mentions that event and he's still salty about it. But get the fuck out of here, bro.
There's nothing to like about it. It's not like part of continuity or anything fun.
And the fact that Classic Sonic has the cheesiest grin and gives a thumbs up pisses me off more too. Like, get out of here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tails versus Tails.
All's Well That Ends Well versus Wow, My Head Spinning. Honestly,
Wow's my head spinning.
mine is All's Well That Ends Well. It's really just so out of pocket.
So here's the thing.
Oh,
Here's the
man.
thing though, Wallace. So I'm gonna treat this the way I did for Forces, and I'm separating it from the source material because we know the context of that line where it's said. It's like, oh, that feels wrong. But now I'm looking at these lines as like what they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Tails saying all's well that ends well. And that doesn't seem abnormal to me. But Tails not able to keep up with Sonic and be like, whoa, my head's spinning. It's like, what the f? You
Like,
fly.
shut up, you 8-year-old.
Yeah, I don't know. I have
go
to go
be
with that. Wow,
useful
my
in a
head's
fly
spinning.
plane.
I gotta go with wow, my head's spinning on that one.
Yeah, I can take that. Amount of handkerchiefs versus Sandhill.
Ooh, Okay, hold on. I'm trying not to be biased here toward Forces here, but it's, God, that mountain of handkerchiefs one. Even with the context
It's
Evan
so
gave
corny.
to the story, even with
This is trying to be artful versus just not even like just phoning it in, like not even trying.
Yeah, it's.
I call it like the beauty of a dumpster fire. There's an attempt there with the handkerchiefs, but it's so bad and you just can't look away from it. Sandhill, it's so. Oh, but Sandhill was like the line that everyone attached to, just like
Everyone
this game's
on
gonna suck.
YouTube. I remember when this game came out, every review sound clipped that part and was like, even Donkey was like, why? Like he paused the game and literally was just like, why?
But a lot
Like,
of reviewers focused on Mountain of Handkerchiefs. My
I-
bias is making it easy for me, but I'm trying to curb
I'm
the
trying.
bias.
He's trying to cook a sauce, but the sauce wasn't good versus having zero sauce whatsoever. So it's like,
Yeah, I think for that reasoning, I'm going to go Sandhill.
I think I have to go Sandhill too, and I'm gonna let my bias kind of drive me on this one too.
Yeah, I
don't
remembered another thing. I'm just gonna tuck it in here about secret rings and the handkerchief. I think when they first meet Shara and Sonic, Shara says that he can wish for anything, and he literally just says, how about a hanky? And she's like, hey, do you take this seriously? So I think
it kind of ties in. It kind of ties.
It's emblematic of he doesn't want anything.
Disgusting creature versus no way out of marrying me.
Oh,
you can't even say the full quote. So
yeah, move that over, dude.
We're moving on, disgusting creature. Copyright law versus on our way to the Ark.
In the last one, when we were battling with the Ark one, it was a battle versus bad writing versus broken writing, right? Now we're looking at broken writing, which is the on our way to the Ark, versus writing that quite literally could be said by any character on planet Earth.
They're bad for different reasons.
Still grammatically broken.
Okay, copyright law, like, I could hear that in any context and be like, let's remove from Sonic context. If any character says that, it's like, oh, haha, whatever, quirky, cool. If someone else said that on our way to like the Ark part, like, no matter what character is saying it,
it's broken. It's a broken
bad.
line.
I would move the Ark forward, honestly.
Yeah, I can't.
Stealing candy from a baby versus it's been generations. Stealing candy from a baby is still ridiculous. I feel like it's been generations. Bugs me.
It's like you're trying to
But-
get me something there, but still, that one bugs me because even with him taking an evil route, it's just like, bro, Shadow would never f***ing say that. Yeah, move that over.
Which
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm noticing a pattern of like whatever has the most power out of context, because I'm imagining, right, like this is like taking candy from a baby, which is fine by me in quotes, with Shadow like Dash, a Shadow the Hedgehog. That looks so funny compared to no copyright in the law in the universe of Sonic the Hedgehog. Like,
Yeah.
Wait, what was the one we were going up against?
Wow, my head's spinning versus It's Sandhill. It's Sandhill, 100%.
You're gonna have to, Sandhill. Sandhill.
Yeah.
Disgusting creature versus on our way to the Ark. It's real quick.
Yeah.
Out of the semifinals, 3 of them are from the same game.
Yeah. Yep. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
If you imagine it the way I'm imagining, right? Black screen, white text, quotations around the quote, and then the character with the little hyphen like after it. It's clear. If it, like even like it's Sonic the Hedgehog and Shadow the Hedgehog saying these two things, like it's clear which one is worse, right? Like, the fact that Shadow the Hedgehog is saying that.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm making to you.
Stealing candy from a baby versus Sandhill.
Damn, bro. No, there's just no sauce in the Sand Hill one. I just don't like it. But the
I can't believe
stealing
Shadow, my boy Shadow, has the worst quotes.
But stealing candy from a baby is so like.
If we're going objectively bad, I would argue Sandhill, because Sandhill is just like stealing candy from a baby. It's funny because it's so like, wow, you're such a super villain.
I'm gonna be a
Sandhill
little bit.
is so bad. Of just...
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Yeah, it definitely makes me groan. But they're trying to just make a reference. They're trying to make a reference, and the way they set it up was terrible, and it didn't land. Meanwhile, the other one is quite literally out of character. So out of character.
Also, it's in his first and only game that stars him, and this is how they're like platforming the character.
Yeah,
he likes taking candy from babies.
Yeah,
dude, those kids had it coming, and they can't enjoy candy at their age. Come on, I'll take it.
Yeah, stealing candy from a baby is so much worse in my opinion.
Yeah.
Damn,
All
two
right.
Shadow the Hedgehog lines. That is so funny.
Damn really is the word, Sam.
Oh God.
We have disgusting black creature versus
said it!
stealing candy from a baby. I had
Even
to
the way he said it, his voice was shaking, like he knows.
I was quivering. A poor writing choice versus the writers very aware of, you know, stealing candy from a baby, and I like that. They doubled down on it. I feel like there's an art to that.
You know what pissed me off though the most about that disgusting black creature line is the fact that the aliens are not even fully black. They're like gray and red.
It's Black Doom's creatures.
Yeah, but it's because I think they're called like the Black Arms Army, right? But it's like, but they're just no. Yeah, I can't. It has to be that line. It has to be the worst one because the other one.
My thing is, why would they have to denote their color? Like, is there other aliens walking around? I don't understand.
It does, but my problem is though too. Yeah, like he's not saying it because they're called the Black Arms Army. He's not. He's saying it because they're colored, but they're not even fully colored black. So it's like, it really feels like what the f***? Why would you say, like, I don't know. I don't like it.
Why did he have to say creatures? He could have said aliens.
He could have also just said disgusting creatures, get out of my sight. He could have just said that. Like
yeah, I don't know.
3 words and you messed up that badly.
Like no one in the room's head turned when like Jason said that, like full chest. No one in the recording booth.
Yeah, discussion. The fact that he can't even put the full subtitle in it, like, it's clear as day.
Damn, Shadow the Hedgehog. I guess you never realize how much it.
How much of a piece of shit he is.
I have so much clarity. I said it myself, right? I saw.
You have
like,
clarity.
I knew.
If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. Let us know your thoughts in the comments on what quote you think is truly the worst. If you agree, disagree, let us know in the comments below. Links to both Sam and Evan's YouTube channels will be on screen right now. Thank you so much, and okay, bye.